Did you know that McDonald's doesn't actually make money by selling burgers? It sounds unbelievable, but the real source of income for the company isn't fries or Big Macs. When we think of McDonald's, we imagine fast food, millions of customers a day, and endless hamburgers being sold worldwide. But here's the secret. McDonald's is, above all, a real estate company disguised as a restaurant. Most McDonald's locations aren't operated directly by the company, but by franchisees. These business owners pay an initial fee and also a percentage of their sales. But the most important part is this. McDonald's owns the land and the buildings where the restaurants operate. For example, a franchisee opens a McDonald's. They pay royalties, but they also pay rent every month to the landlord, which is McDonald's Corporation. This means that more than selling hamburgers, McDonald's makes money by collecting rent. In fact, over 80% of its income comes from real estate and property. In short, McDonald's is one of the largest landowners in the world. So when you buy a burger, you're not just feeding the restaurant, you're helping pay the rent that McDonald's charges its franchisees. Thanks to this strategy, McDonald's isn't only one of the biggest fast food chains on the planet, it's also a global real estate giant. So next time you walk past a McDonald's, remember, they don't just sell burgers, they sell land. Maybe the real Big Mac isn't on your tray, it's in the lease agreement. Have you ever stopped to wonder how IKEA really makes its money? At first glance, it seems obvious. They sell cheap furniture in massive quantities and get rich that way. But the heart of their business is in places most people never notice. Behind that low-priced bookshelf and those affordable meatballs lies a carefully engineered business model that goes far beyond selling furniture. IKEA was born in Sweden with the idea of offering functional designs at affordable prices. Over time, it became the largest furniture retailer on the planet, with hundreds of stores across more than 60 countries. Each year, over 1 billion people visit their stores and website. But if they only made money from big, low-cost furniture, they could never have grown into one of the most powerful companies in the world. And that's where the real trick begins. When you walk into an IKEA store, it's not by accident. The entire layout is designed to influence your behavior. It's a maze on purpose, forcing you to pass through every section. Maybe you came in just for a chair, but along the way, you see kitchens, sofas, bedrooms, fake plants, scented candles, cushions, cookware, lamps, and artwork. The store is not designed to take you straight to what you want. It's designed so you see everything else. And here's the secret. IKEA knows that most of its profits don't come from the couch you buy once a decade, but from small, high-margin items you toss into your cart without thinking. Those cheap-looking accessories have huge profit margins. Each candle, rug, or side table adds up, and when millions of people do the same in hundreds of stores, the profits multiply. But that's only the first layer. IKEA also makes sure you spend more time inside the store. That's where the famous Swedish meatball restaurant comes in. The food is not a friendly extra, it's a strategic tool. The longer you stay, the more you buy. If you can grab lunch there, you're less likely to leave before finishing the full loop. And the restaurant itself makes money. Every cheap menu, every coffee and dessert adds millions per year to IKEA's revenue. There's another little-known driver of their wealth: real estate. Many IKEA stores aren't leased. They're owned by the company or related entities. When they open a store in a strategic location, they aren't just selling furniture. They're investing in land and buildings whose value skyrockets over time. In many ways, IKEA is also a global real estate empire disguised as a furniture retailer. Those property gains can be even more profitable than selling sofas and beds. And if you think that's smart, wait until you hear about their financial structure. IKEA is organized through foundations and interlinked companies that allow for extremely efficient tax optimization. This isn't an accident, it's carefully planned. By doing so, they pay less tax and reinvest more capital into growth. Legally, they've built a corporate architecture that protects and multiplies their money. The result? Every euro or dollar you spend at IKEA gets amplified in several directions, not just through retail sales. Another important element is their self-service model. IKEA cuts costs by shifting part of the work to you. You pick, you carry, you assemble. That allows them to keep big item prices low while still maintaining healthy margins because logistics and labor costs are calculated down to the penny. On top of that, most of their products are in-house designs made at scale, which slashes manufacturing and shipping costs. By controlling the supply chain from design to sale, they maximize efficiency, and every cent saved becomes profit. Even their catalogs and marketing strategies have a deeper purpose. They're not just ads, they're psychological tools to build an emotional connection with the brand. IKEA isn't just selling furniture, it's selling a lifestyle. It's selling the idea of a home that's beautiful, functional, and affordable. And when they get into your head, you stop comparing prices elsewhere. You trust IKEA for everything related to your home. When you add it all up, the picture becomes clear. IKEA doesn't survive on selling you a cheap table. It thrives on how it makes you spend more on high-margin accessories, how it controls real estate that grows in value, how it streamlines its operations, and how it designs an experience that hooks you. Every part of their business model is crafted to generate revenue far beyond the piece of furniture itself. So next time you step into an IKEA thinking you'll only spend money on a simple table, remember, IKEA's real business isn't in furniture. It's in the experience, the little things, the time you spend inside their store, and a financial strategy few companies can match. That's why today, IKEA is not just a furniture brand, it's a global empire making money in ways most of its customers don't even realize. Did you know that Starbucks, that coffee shop you see on almost every corner, doesn't really make its money by selling you coffee? Sounds strange, right? You pay $4 or $5 for a latte and think, of course that's how they get rich. But the truth is very different, and today I'm going to show you how Starbucks actually makes its money. Starbucks was born in Seattle in 1971, and in its early decades it looked like just another chain serving quality coffee. But as it grew, its business model evolved. Today, Starbucks is not just a coffee shop, it's a global machine of marketing, real estate, and customer loyalty. Yes, they sell coffee, but the real profits come from somewhere else. When you buy a latte for $4, Starbucks doesn't make as much as you think. Between rent, staff salaries, taxes, milk, beans, electricity, and branding, the margin isn't that big. The coffee is just the bait. What Starbucks really sells is an experience, sitting with your laptop, using free Wi-Fi, and feeling part of a cool, global lifestyle. The coffee is just your ticket in. Here's where it gets interesting. Starbucks is, in many ways, a real estate company. Think about it. Every Starbucks you see is in a prime location. Busy corners, shopping centers, tourist spots. They choose their spots strategically because a Starbucks increases the value of the area and guarantees constant foot traffic. In many cases, Starbucks makes more money from property appreciation or leasing deals than from the coffee itself. Another huge pillar of their business is the gift card program and the app. Here's a fact. Millions of people load money onto their Starbucks cards or app accounts. Do you know how much money is never redeemed? Hundreds of millions of dollars every year. That's like an interest-free loan customers give to Starbucks. Imagine loading $20, spending $15, and forgetting the remaining $5. For Starbucks, that's pure profit without selling anything. And the app isn't just for payments. It's a gold mine of data. They know what drink you order, what time, in which city, and how often. That data lets them adjust prices, launch personalized promotions, and even decide what new products to test. In other words, Starbucks turns your cup of coffee into data that generates even more money. Have you noticed Starbucks also sells mugs, tumblers, packaged coffee, snacks, even limited edition collections? That's not random. Every time you buy a tumbler with the green siren logo, you're paying for advertising that you'll carry around yourself. Starbucks isn't just selling coffee, it's selling a lifestyle. And that branding is what allows them to charge more than the cafe down the street. In many countries, Starbucks doesn't even run the stores directly. It uses franchise and licensing models. That means other investors put up the money, build the store, pay staff, and send a cut back to Starbucks. The brand expands worldwide with less risk, while keeping control of the name, the data, and the most valuable thing of all, the prime locations. So next time you buy your Frappuccino, remember, you're not just paying for coffee. You're paying for an experience, for a brand, for a business model that goes far beyond what's in your cup. Starbucks doesn't make money selling coffee. It makes money selling you the idea of being part of something bigger. When you think of Louis Vuitton, you probably imagine luxury, fashion, and exclusivity. Handbags worth thousands of dollars, Paris runways, celebrities showing off the brand. But what you don't know is that Louis Vuitton doesn't actually make most of its money from selling handbags. Louis Vuitton belongs to the giant LVMH, the largest luxury conglomerate in the world. And the story sounds perfect. Handcrafted products made with the finest materials. And yes, producing a Louis Vuitton bag is expensive. Treated leather, manual stitching, dozens of hours of work, and strict quality controls. But here's the trick. They sell it for far more than it actually costs to make. You're not paying for the leather or the craftsmanship, you're paying for the logo and what it represents. The bags and clothing are basically advertising. They are the shop window. But the most profitable business for Louis Vuitton is elsewhere. The real money comes from what look like secondary products, perfumes and cosmetics produced at massive scale with huge profit margins. Champagne and cognac because LVMH owns Dom Perignon, Moet, and Hennessy, and licensing deals where others pay to use the logo in collaborations and accessories. Here's how it works. They create a $5,000 handbag to reinforce the idea of exclusivity. Then millions of people who can't afford that bag end up buying a $100 perfume, believing they're getting access to the same luxury. If you enjoy learning how big brands really work, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Louis Vuitton has mastered the art of controlling scarcity. They never run sales. You'll never see a buy one, get one free. They'd rather destroy or burn products than devalue the brand with discounts. That maintains the illusion that everything is exclusive. But at the same time, the company sells millions of products every year. Perfumes, small wallets, accessories. Much more accessible than their iconic handbags. It's a psychological trick. When you see someone carrying a $5,000 bag, you start to believe that a $100 perfume is a bargain. That's how they turn millions of people into customers, even if they never buy a handbag. By the way, if you want to keep learning these hidden truths about luxury, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Behind this empire is Bernard Arnault, the owner of LVMH and one of the richest men in the world. His formula was simple but brilliant. Attract the elite with ultra-expensive products, costly to make but sold with huge markups, and sell to the masses cheaper to produce items with massive profit margins, all under the same luxury brand. In short, Louis Vuitton doesn't really sell you handbags or perfumes. What it sells is status, power, exclusivity. The elite pays to belong to a closed club. The masses pay to feel like part of that same club, even if it's just through a bottle of perfume. And here's the shocking part. Those handbags, even though they're insanely expensive, don't even come close to being the company's main source of income. The real empire is built on millions of small purchases, disguised as accessible luxury. That's how Louis Vuitton, and luxury in general, tricks you. They don't sell you handbags, they sell you an illusion of status. And while you think everything is unattainable, they're making billions from products that anyone can buy. If you enjoyed this video and want more secrets about businesses and brands, subscribe to the channel, because what's coming next will blow your mind. When we think of Duolingo, the first thing that comes to mind is that green owl constantly reminding us to complete our language lessons. But behind the memes and notifications lies one of the most successful and profitable digital education companies in the world. And the surprising part? Most people using the app have never paid a single dollar. So how does Duolingo actually make money? The first answer is simple: premium subscriptions. Duolingo works on a freemium model. Anyone can use it for free. But those who want a smoother experience pay for Super Duolingo. This version removes ads, unlocks unlimited retries, and gives extra perks. Even though only a small percentage pay with hundreds of millions of users worldwide, that small percentage translates into tens of millions of dollars every year. The second source of revenue is in-app advertising. Free users see ads between lessons, which might seem minor, but at Duolingo's scale, it also becomes a significant income stream. However, Duolingo's real masterstroke came with the launch of the Duolingo English test. This exam, accepted by over 4,000 universities and companies, costs $59 and can be taken at home with a webcam. That makes it a much cheaper and more accessible alternative to traditional tests like TOEFL or IELTS, which can cost over $200 and require traveling to an official test center. Today, thousands of students worldwide use it to apply to universities in the US, Canada, and Europe. Every test sold generates direct, scalable revenue, making this product one of the company's biggest profit sources. Then there's another key factor: data. Duolingo isn't just a language app, it's a learning laboratory. Every day, millions of users complete exercises, make mistakes, retry, and progress. This information powers their AI algorithms, which adjust content, make learning more addictive, and increase retention. The more time you spend in the app, the higher the chances you'll become a premium user or end up taking the official test. And here comes another fundamental ingredient: social media marketing. Duolingo has become one of the most viral brands on TikTok and Instagram. Their strategy isn't to sell directly, but to build humor and closeness with users. The green owl has become a character with its own personality, joking, participating in viral trends, and even threatening users to maintain their streaks. This keeps the app on the minds of millions without spending as much as traditional brands on advertising. This irreverent, meme-based marketing has been crucial for attracting new young users and keeping existing ones engaged. In short, Duolingo combines three pillars: premium subscriptions, advertising, and official exams, supported by brilliant digital marketing and intelligent use of data. What started as an educational project has become a publicly traded company valued in the billions. So, next time you get a notification from the owl reminding you to complete your lesson, remember, it's not just about your French, English, or German. It's a business model designed to keep Duolingo growing. If you enjoy these deep dives into how the world's most famous companies really work, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. That way, you won't miss future episodes where we reveal the secrets behind the most unexpected businesses. Did you know that one of the most famous companies on the planet doesn't actually get rich by selling you soda? Their power isn't in the drink, but in their control of global distribution and marketing. They literally sell mind space inside your head. Every day, more than 2 billion of their products are consumed across over 200 countries. At first glance, it seems like they make money with each bottle sold. But in reality, the direct profit per can or bottle is tiny. The real costs are carried by bottlers and distributors, producing the packaging, buying the sugar, transporting it, handling logistics, and wages. So how is it that this company is one of the most profitable in history? The secret is their business model. They are not a beverage company. They are a marketing and intellectual property company. Their main product isn't the liquid, it's the concentrate, the secret syrup that gives the drink its taste. They sell that concentrate at huge margins to bottling companies, which handle all the heavy lifting, production, packaging, and distribution. It's a brilliant strategy. Producing concentrate costs very little, but it's sold for a lot. This allows them to avoid owning fleets of trucks or expensive factories and instead focus on what truly creates value: the formula, the brand, and their global distribution power. From the very beginning in 1886, when the drink started as a medicinal syrup, their strategy has been clear: control the recipe and the brand, delegate the labor. Over time, their biggest weapon became advertising. They don't just sell you a drink, they sell you feelings, nostalgia, cultural identity. The brand itself is worth over $80 billion, and that value isn't stored in warehouses or bottles. It lives inside your mind. Think about their iconic ads: the polar bears at Christmas, open happiness, or bottles in the hands of soldiers during World War II. This company literally buys and sells mind space. They've made you associate their brand with joy, tradition, and closeness, no matter what country you're in. And they've quietly diversified their empire. Beyond the classic drink, they own water brands, teas, coffees, juices, and energy drinks. This lets them adapt to any trend. If sugary soda sales drop, they've already got alternatives waiting to keep revenue flowing. Another key move was selling off many of their bottling operations to focus on what's most profitable: branding, marketing, and exclusivity deals. When you see their vending machines in airports, stadiums, or universities, it's not by chance. There are contracts ensuring only their products are available there. Even in times of war or crisis, they never stopped claiming mental real estate. During World War II, they built plants near battlefronts so American soldiers could drink their favorite beverage. That created generational loyalty that money alone couldn't buy. In short, their real business isn't the liquid in the bottle. It's the ability to control global brand perception and dominate the distribution chain with an unbeatable marketing strategy. Their most valuable product isn't bottled, it's the mind space they own inside you. Next time you take a sip, remember, you're not just paying for a drink. You're paying for over a century of advertising, positioning, and a strategy designed to keep the brand present everywhere, including inside your head.